Welcome to this Project Cargo Weekly interview. Our special guest of honor today are the two representatives of the port of Umeå in Sweden, Mr. Patrik Rudolfsson, the harbor master, and Mr. Nederstedt, the sales and marketing manager. First of all, Patrik, welcome to this interview.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
And also to you, Krista, welcome to this interview.
Thank you. Thank you.
It's good to have you both here. Well, for starters, as you might have seen in some of my previous interviews, I always let my interviewees run a little bit of background check on how they ended up where they are. So starting with you, Patrik, how come you got into this kind of business in the first place?
Yeah, the way I got here is I have a background at sea, and a master mariner is my education and background. 30 years ago, I started my business at sea in 1985 as an ordinary seaman. And 3 years ago, I started here in Umeå as a harbor master. So that's my background.
Okay, that's it's nice to talk to somebody who's actually seen a ship, working in shipping, right?
I think I've been on most kind of vessels, yes.
Okay. Very interesting. And Krista, how did you end up as a colleague of Patrik's sitting in Umeå, in the port of Umeå?
First, I will say it's an honor to be a colleague with Patrik. Well, my background is mainly from the airline industry. I worked many years for Scandinavian Airlines and at the headquarters in Stockholm. So I'm rather new here in the harbor business, in the sea business, and but I think the business model we have is rather similar with an airport business model. So I feel a little bit like home, but on the ground and on the sea instead in the air. So.
Understand. But it's always good to have a diversity in background in order to achieve success. Very, very good. Good to hear that you both have experience from logistics and from actually being on board. The port of Umeå, many of our viewers are outside Scandinavia and even indeed outside Europe. Patrik, what can you say about the location of Umeå? It's quite far north in Sweden, and what can you say about the port as such in general?
We are a diverse port with all kinds of vessels, Ro-Ro vessels, Ropaks, all kinds of vessels. We can handle all kinds of cargo as well here in Umeå. So, and we also used to say that we are ice-free during the winter time because we have the river of Umeå is passing us, so the ice is going out to the Gulf of Bothnia. So that's what I can tell about this harbor.
Okay.
It's far north, but ice-free in the winter time.
Okay, that's a very important point, because I mean, talking to people in Singapore, they think that we have ice bears walking in the street, even in Stockholm. So it's good to tell them a little bit about the geography here. One more question to you, Patrik. I understand that Umeå is part of the, what do you call, Kvarken ports. Kvarken, you have some kind of sister relationship with the Vasa port in Finland. Can you explain how that works?
Kvarken ports, Umeå and Vasa, since 2015, Vasa stad and Umeå kommun, they are 50-50 owners in this joint venture agreement between the cities. Okay. So that's, but we have our own economy in Umeå, and Vasa has their own in Vasa. So, but we are cooperating. Our CEO is from Finland, Teijo Seppelin. So
okay, so in a way you team up to be stronger towards the outside world and to get the benefits. And then I think you also, I've heard you had a very well established ferry connection across the Bay of Bothnia between the two cities, right?
Yes, Vasa line, a long time ago it started with the Silja line. They had their ferry up here, and now we just received the new ferry Aurora Botnia came 1 month ago, so brand new ferry and LNG battery powered, so
Okay.
should be the latest technology on that vessel.
Latest green technology. Yeah, very, very interesting. And of course, everyone has seen the huge investment in renewable, not to mention wind turbines and whatnot in the northern parts of Scandinavia. So yes, it's good to see. And Christopher, you also being the sales and marketing manager of the port, what is your job mainly? Of course, your title says itself, you are trying to attract business for the port, but how do you go about doing that? How do you make sure that people know you and Umeå Port?
Well, the easiest answer is that is to talk to the market.
Yeah, talk to the potential users. Yes.
Yes, and listen to the market, and always have a customer-oriented way of looking at things.
Yeah.
And I also feel comfortable with working with the team in Kvarken Port because we are known to be flexible. We can handle all kind of goods here in the harbor.
Okay.
And we also have more and more outgoing market thinking.
Okay.
So just for a few weeks ago, we started to visit and talk to big customers in the area, and of course, we're also looking forward to meet customers or coming customers outside Sweden or nearby Sweden, of course.
Yes, fully understand. Of course, I have had the pleasure of visiting your port before, and I recall seeing many project cargo vessels like BBC Chartering, Costco. You've even had US flag vessels in port. You've had bulk vessels. You have the regular ferry. So quite a versatile and active port in the northern part of Sweden, I would say, right?
Yes. And of course, our main duty is to offer all our customers here in the harbor, even if you come by a truck or railway, or you come with a boat, or you have your business located in the harbor. Our mainly business is to make it possible to do that so they can be so efficient it's possible for our customers.
Yes, I fully understand. So even though, let's say, you are run by the local municipality in Vasa and in Umeå, you are not, let's say, per se, the slow-going public service. You have a really customer active and proactive approach. So
yes.
You are flexible. Yeah.
Yes, very.
Okay, but that's good to hear, because I'm quite sure that many ship owners, when they come to the Baltic or they think about the Baltic, the first thing they are worried about is, oh, first of all, the ice that you have solved. Then they're worried about the high costs. And of course, then they're worried about the working, let's say, ethic and working attitude. Are they going home at 3 o'clock and stuff like that? But I think you are a 24/7 efficient port when need be, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Very good. A couple of practical questions. What is the draft in the port of Umeå? How deep is the water there alongside?
The fairway is 11 meters, but that's only for ship-to-ship sailors. And to the jetties, we have fairway depth of maximum 10.2 meters.
Okay.
So 10.2 meters, but after our fairway dredging and the new building here, we're going to have fairway depth of 12.5 meters and maximum draft approximately 11.67.
Okay.
So that's what we're aiming for. And the storage areas, I don't know if you like to hear about that. Also, storage areas outside today is about 240,000 square meters.
Wow.
And after all the projects, we're going to end up with approximately 400,000 square meters.
Okay. That's
so
Quite sizable. Yes, I recall. I've seen just across from your port, one of the world's largest paper machines is being built. You have huge timber exports. You have the wind turbine energy coming in. So it really seems like you are on a roll, as we say in English. You're on the way to something bigger, right?
Yes, a lot of ports in Sweden are a little bit aged, and they need to upgrade the ports.
Yeah,
and also the fairways.
Right.
So,
and we also have, excuse me, but we also have started a project for starting a combi terminal here in the harbor.
Ah, yes. To tell some of our viewers who wouldn't know what is a combi terminal, do you mean the coordination between rail and ship, or what do you mean?
Yeah, rail, ship, and trucks.
And road. Yeah.
And road.
Ah, okay.
We have that area. I think you saw that area when you visited Umeå. It's an area that's 80 by 400 meters, and two railways, 2 by 400 meters.
Okay.
And that's the storage area for this terminal.
I think that's very interesting, because even from many of the big customers, there's this environmental focus now that the policy goes towards more and more green and sustainable way of transportation. So that you have the rail head and the rail connection, I think it's a very good selling point for Umeå. And I suppose with your location in northern parts of Sweden, I mean, the area is quite big, and you even can reach Norway at some point via Umeå, I should think, right?
Yes. You can come from Norway over to Vasa, and from Vasa all over the east.
Yes. So actually, it's you don't need the Suez Canal at all when we have you. You can say, yeah. I mean, as you all have heard nowadays, many of the ship owners, they are drowning in cargo and high freight rates. So they are not so interested in anything anymore. So we need to think new solutions. So it's good that we have you. One more question I would like to say. Let's say. The future here, what it will bring. Can you see that there's a future industrialization in the northern part of Sweden and Finland now? Can you see that it's booming? Do you feel that in the port too?
Suddenly, yes, of course. We have this Northvolt battery fabric up in Skellefteå, and also building the same in Vasa on the Finnish side, and H2 green steel up in Boden. So it's a lot of things happening up north there.
Yeah, so that H2O green steel, that means that they wish to produce steel without emitting anything into the atmosphere. I mean, make
That's
green steel, basically. It won't be green,
steel,
of course.
Yeah. As green as it can be.
Yeah, right. I told my wife that if she's not nice to me, I'll replace her with a green wife, but she didn't understand what I meant about that. But anyway, joke aside. Yeah, but it's a huge focus, and of course it's coming in most parts of the world. What kind of regular lines do you have coming into Umeå now? Let's say who are regular liners or ro-ro or container carriers. Do you have anyone coming in on a regular basis?
Yes, twice a week we have these SCA's vessels. They have 3 vessels, and they are turning on 2 days a week, Tuesdays and Fridays, and then on every second Wednesday we have SCA's container vessel as well. Oh, yeah. So that's on the regular basis. Okay. But then we also have Cementa and agriculture products as well up here in Umeå. And
right. So just to be clear, the SCA is the Svenska Cellulosa AB. That's the huge paper making factory.
Yeah, that's correct. They are building a huge mill on the other side of the river, going to be the world's largest paper machine. So they are twising their production on the other side also.
Okay, so let's say that if anyone wanted to get cargo transported into Umeå, they could actually use the SCA feeder from continent Europe up to Umeå. It's also taking commercial cargo, not only SCA cargo, right?
They are going to UK and then the Rotterdam, so it's possible to
Yes. Okay, so it is not only for their own production, so to speak.
No.
Okay, that's really interesting because, of course, for many, let's say, cargo owners to have some solution that is not always a complete shipload might be ideal. Very, very good. What's on the final questions here I have for you both? Here, maybe I can ask you first, Patrik. How do you see the future of the port? You, after going ashore from many years at sea, how do you see the future of the port business in Umeå? Do you see it as very promising?
I see it very promising. Since I've been at sea all my life, and I see how the transport ways in Southern Europe are most on the water. They are using a lot of small vessels in Europe and Asia as well. I think we need to handle all the lorries on road and infrastructure ashore. We need to use the waterways more, and I think when we have our new harbor in 26, 27, then we are on the right side.
Yeah, fully equipped and ready for it.
Yes.
Yeah, very good. And Krista, to you, you don't miss to sit on an airline or sit in the airline office. You are happy working in the port still and see a good future there?
Yes, I am. I really enjoy it. Yes.
Okay.
And there is, as Patrik says, we have a future. We have an exciting future ahead of us.
Yeah. It's really, really good to hear. No, yeah, I certainly can say to, having met you both already before, that you are hands-on and proactive, and I really applaud that. So that's all I would like to say. Thank you very much, Patrik, for the interview.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And thank you also to you, Krista.
Thank you.
And to our listeners, viewers, and readers around the world, this was yet another exclusive interview by Project Cargo Weekly. Our special guest of honor today have been Mr. Patrik Rudolfsson, the harbor master of the port of Umeå in the northern part of Sweden, and his colleague, Mr. Nederstedt, the sales and marketing manager of the port of Umeå. So do consider to contact them, and you'll see more after this video about their contact details if you need anything in the northern part of Sweden. For me, editor of Project Cargo Weekly, thank you, and stay tuned for more interviews in the near future.